Greetings, hello, and konnichiwa YouTube. This video is late this week, as our current situation has severely curtailed our ability to work on things in a timely manner. That said, late or not, it's time for some serious ponage. Ren said a couple of weeks ago that she was going to fold flat earth follies into crippling conspiracies, but this example is so utterly egregious, that I felt it worth coming back to do, and that it deserved an entry in its home series. Rather than getting lost with the Lie Killer's video, she somehow managed to survive without gnawing off one of her arms. Because, you see, unlike most barely educated flat earth fucktards, our current jackass isn't making claims of a conspiracy, but instead has decided to simply outright deny all of the evidence sum total. To this particularly egregiously mendacious moron, his personal perception of the universe trumps everything else. He's even laid out a few questions, and put up a website with a $1,000 challenge if we can debunk his bullshit. I won't be taking up the challenge immediately, but when I can get a better connection than a cell phone, I will be addressing it. Not that I expect him to cough up, but I can at least show the challenge for what it is, a fraud. There's not a lot in the video itself that makes claims that can be directly refuted as such. It's mostly just the idiot in question laughing at the attempts of people that aren't expecting this level of trolling from someone asking what appears to be an honest question, along with telling us that a particular piece of evidence is not how it works. I will leave a link in the description to his video, and you can watch it that way. I'm going to answer the questions presented in the first few minutes, and then sum up the rest. Go ahead and click on the link. I'll be back in 15 minutes or so, and we'll go from there. Ah, good. You're back. So, let's work his questions. The commenter he's trying to take apart is pretty much right on the money with his first and second answers, but I'm going to get a little more clarification in here. First question, if the Earth is round, at what altitude can we see the entire globe? Answer, you're a mathematically inept moron. You're looking at a solid oblate spheroid. Therefore, seeing the opposite side of the beast from any altitude would be flat impossible by definition. However, if you had more of an attention span than dead gerbil, then you'd know that if you sit it in an orbit farther out than that of geostationary satellites, then you could, over the course of 24 hours, see this side of the sphere turn into the other side, and back again. From lower Earth orbit, then you'd only need an hour and a half or so to see the same thing. You would also get proof that the Earth is rotating, as you would require several orbits to wind up over the same location a second time. Second question, how many miles across do we have to go to see the curvature of the surface of the water on a round Earth? Answer, that didn't make any sense, as the distance over the surface would be irrelevant to the rest of your question. However, you did say across, so that's what we're going to work with. You only need to go far enough out onto the water for the shore to disappear over the horizon. The curvature of the planet is sufficient to block your line of sight towards land, and is in and of itself a refutation for a flat Earth. I won't get into how every other object in the solar system is either round or working in that direction if it has any significant gravity. Question 3, if the Earth is round, what places are on the side of the round Earth and how can you prove that? Answer, try again, you nonsensical fuck. Your teachers are crying in their beer down at the bar, bemoaning the day they met you. All of them. I don't know how you thought this was going to fly. First, a spheroid doesn't have sides, you retarded idiot. It is a contiguous shape wherein all points that make up the sphere define its properties, including its center or point of origin. All points on a sphere can define a side as you describe it. They're called vectors, and they're incredibly handy to have on hand. If you want proof of the curvature of the Earth, there's a simple experiment that anyone can do, assuming they have a friend that lives at a significant distance from you. Take a stick, and shove it into the ground so that it stands vertically. Face north, and measure the direction the shadow goes, as well as its length. Have another friend north and west of you make the same readings at the same time, then compare. Neither of you will get the readings that flat Earth predicts you will. The person north of you will get a different angle of deflection and length of shadow than you do, because the Earth is smaller around further north, and as a result there is a reduction in direct sunlight. Assuming, of course, that you live somewhere on the northern hemisphere. If you live at the equator, and your friend is in, say, Australia, then you'd get a similar result as you would going the other way. I forget who it was, but someone told me about that very experiment being carried out going from one point in the Middle East to another, and suggested we take part in a much larger challenge to do the same thing all over the world. You can even calculate the curvature of the Earth using those readings. Food for thought. Question 4. Why is it that in 1,665 miles the Atlantic Ocean is shown to be leveled? Answer: it isn't, or you'd be able to look through a telescope from the west of Britain and see New York City. Question 5. Explain why east and westbound flights are the same flight distance on a spinning globe moving 1,000 miles per hour. Answer: because of this small thing called inertia, you uneducated shit. It's the same thing as you not having to take a millionfold longer period of time to get back to your house from the corner store. Question 6. Explain Airy's failure and what the conclusion signified. Answer: for your argument, it signified nothing at all, since it was geared to test the ether hypothesis, and failed to do so. It said that the geocentricists were wrong, not that the flat earth fuckers were right. Question 7. Explain Foucault's pendulum and Maurice Aliaus's observation of the pendulum 15-degree angle change during a solar eclipse. Answer: the mechanism for the pendulum is common knowledge. As for the deflection, the cause is not currently known, but Aliaus tried to attribute it to the ether. The experimental results have been mixed, and those that have produced a positive result have widely varying values for the amount of deflection. Either way, it's not 15 degrees. But Aliaus's own reporting puts it at 15 centesimal degrees, or 15/100ths of a degree. As such, this question is considered bullshit until you can give us a recent paper in a mainstream journal that claims it's happening. Now for your last question, number 8. Explain why the United Nations logo looks just like the flat Earth's map. Answer: because you have no spatial awareness. They can't project a globe on a flat piece of cloth, and therefore had to find a way to not leave anyone out instead of posting a particular vertical angle, and alienating most or all of the world not pictured. So they used a northern polar projection for the flag and logos, because it shows all the inhabited continents, however distorted. Or do you really believe that Australia is the size of Russia? Pro tip: it's not. It's about the same size as the continental United States. The flat Earth map was based on the UN logo, as it provided them a map they thought they could defend. You spent several minutes ridiculing essentially correct answers, then go on to assert that we believe in a spinning basketball on the hand as our model of the universe. This is patently untrue, but you went with it anyway, and now we see why I didn't attach the original video to this piece as I would normally. You kill yet more time watching the Harlem Globetrotters spin basketballs, as a way to ridicule those applying current theory to our understanding of the universe. Keep in mind that the current theory that you're ridiculing is the same one that landed a little bitty probe on a comet not very long ago. Next, you give us the Google display for Earth Day 2013, and state that it's Google telling you the Earth is flat. I've seen this argument 100 times, and I can tell you that you have no idea whatsoever about what you're on about. Earth Day is for environmental awareness, and what they're showing is a pristine if cartoony image of a biome with all of its requisite items: food, water sources, trees, and etc. What you don't get is that the joke's on you for taking this tack. Anyone even vaguely educated is going to know exactly what's going on here. It's a cute illustration, and no more. Someone worked really hard on it, for you to use it to forward your agenda, rather than respect what it was made for. Nature is a beautiful thing, and you just shat all over it. You then post the Red Bull orbital parachute drop footage, claiming a fisheye lens was used. You then use the nearly flat Terminator, which doesn't match your stupid red line, as evidence that you're right and thousands of years of science and sailing are wrong. All I can ask at this point is who the fuck are you, and where did you go to school? I need to warn Kage about it before his little boys get caught in your crap. You wrap up with the UN's flag and logo, and the assertion that they are a corporation. Good little conspiracy. Wait to let the rest of us know you have exactly zero sense of history. Do you want a medal, or just a pat on the back? Maybe you should ask Santa for a library card this year, as it's clear to me at least that you've never even read a book. Not one, ever. Except maybe a few verses in your Bible. Now, Please do the rest of us a favor, and fuck off back under your rock until that medieval brainwashing wears off. That's it for this week. Ren will be back next week with Mare Ziller in a collaboration busting a lovely chunk of audio from the PP Simmons channel. It's absolutely sick making, and after Ian Juby, I have no intention of doing another creatard video. If you like what we're doing, please feel free to support the channel in any way you see fit. The appropriate buttons and links will be below. Until next time.